Black History Month. These isn't about the past, or it's not just a month. Today, we're exploring what Black History Month really means, where the African American story truly began, why it was ignored for so long, and how voices that refused to stay silent ended up reshaping culture, politics, and freedom itself. Because every moment led to the next, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Black History Month is often treated like a celebration, but it began as a correction. The struggle starts in year 1619, when enslaved Africans were brought to British North America. They didn't arrive empty-handed. They brought skills, knowledge, culture, and humanity. But here's the cause and effect. Because slavery became the foundation of the economy, Black lives were reduced to property. And because they were labeled as property, their stories were erased from history books. No credit, no names, no voices. Quick question: how do you celebrate a history that was never taught? That silence created something dangerous. A version of America that pretended millions of people never existed. And that silence wouldn't last forever. For centuries, these stories were ignored on purpose. But pressure builds when injustice lasts too long. After the Civil War, African Americans demanded recognition. After Reconstruction failed, segregation followed. After segregation, resistance grew. Then came the early 20th century. Because Black contributions were erased, historian Carter G. Woodson did something radical. He created Negro History Week in 1926. Why? Because if history wouldn't include Black voices, they would include themselves. And that single week planted a seed that would later grow into Black History Month. Still, recognition didn't mean equality, and the fight was just warming up. History tried to erase these voices, and somehow made them louder. Because laws enforced silence, leaders spoke. Because schools excluded Black students, educators taught anyway. Because fear ruled, courage answered. Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. Different methods, same cause. Because America promised freedom but denied it, they demanded accountability. And that demand exposed the truth. Black History Month wasn't created to honor success. It was created because injustice refused to end. In 1976, the U.S. officially recognized Black History Month, not as a gift, but as an admission that these stories could no longer be ignored. And here's what happened when those stories finally entered the mainstream. Everything changed. Because African Americans fought to be heard, they reshaped American culture, music, language, fashion, sports, politics, civil rights. Because protests forced change, laws evolved. Because voices spoke truth, freedom expanded, not perfectly, but permanently. Black history isn't separate from American history. It is American history. And Black History Month isn't about looking back and how today is shaped by yesterday. So the real question isn't, why does Black History Month exist? It's, what happens when we stop paying attention? If you enjoy calm, cinematic, no-fluff history that connects the past to the world you live in today, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss what's next. And if you want to understand how one decision can pull an entire nation into history, check out the next video on your screen. Why Japan attacked Pearl Harbor? Because history doesn't happen randomly. It happens because of choices.